Hi, I'm Lily. Today I'm going to read you a story. Guess what it is? Reading it level 3A. Guess what it is? Okay, let's read it. Guess what it is? Guess what it is? Okay, let's read it. Chapter 1. Nelson's New Game. Nelson was tired of playing handball. Who wants to play a different game? He asked to his friends. I've got a new game. It's called Guess What It Is. Do we have to guess what the game is called? Asked Leon. No, sighed Nelson. The game is called Guess What It Is. I'll play, said Bruno excitedly. Bruno, interrupted Mr. Taylor, the sports teacher. I need your help over here for a minute, please. Mr. Taylor was sorting left and right cricket pads outside the sports storeroom. I'll be right back, Nelson, said Bruno, walking away. Save me a turn. Nelson looked at Miles and Leon. Well, he asked. Okay, sighed Miles. I'll go first if I have to. How do you play? Yeah, how do you play? Nelson put his jumper over Miles' head. Ah, how to play? Nelson put his jumper over Miles' head. Hey, I can see. That's an idea, said Nelson. You have to guess what something is without using your eyes. He and Leah led Miles over to the sandpit. Henny, Beatrice, and Brooke watched from the monkey bars nearby. Nelson picked up a moldly orange from the sand and put it in Miles' hand. Guess what it is? Nelson said smugly. I don't feel very good. Guess what it is? Miles gingerly felt the orange. Leon tried not to laugh. Is it a ball? Kissed Miles. Nope, said Nelson. Guess again. Oh, guess again. It's a little bit hard. Okay. Miles squeezed the orange and his fingers broke on the screen, squirting rotten juice everywhere. Ugh, cried Miles, putting the jumper over his head. Bits of sand and orange clung to her fingers. Who wants to play next? And Nelson enjoying himself. Chapter 2. Leon plays twice. No one volunteered to play Nelson's new game. Go on, Leon, said Mouse. It's your turn. Just don't make it disgusting food, said Leon nervously, putting the jumper over his head. Leon, promised the mouse. Leon, he whispered to Nelson as they led Leon over to the school bags. And Miles pulled out a dirty footy sock that had been in his bags for weeks. He put in Leon's trembling hands. Guess what it is, said Nelson. A mouse put out a dirty, footy sock that had been in his bag for weeks. He put it in Leon's trembling hands. Guess what it is, said Nelson. Leon was about to guess that it was a scarf until it lifted its near face. Phew, wait, it stings. Nelson and Miles started laughing. Leon pulled the jumper from his head and threw the sock at Miles. I knew it was your stinking sock, Miles, so Leon relieved his turn was over. Correct, said Nelson. That means you get another go. But I don't want another go. Currently a bad luck. That's the rule, Nelson explained, returning the jumper to Leon's head. Nelson looked inside his bag and found a jumbo lime glue stick. He broke off a large chunk of it and pressed it in Leon's hand. Guess what it is? But Leon smelled it. The smell was strong and sweet, but he didn't recognize it. He squeezed the glue through his fingers and his other hands. Mouse and Nelson tried to hold their giggles. Mouse was the first to break. It looks like one of my dad's boogers, Mouse blurted it. Oh, Liam panicked and tried to unstick his hands. He jumped up and down and shook his hands to make the jumper fall over to the ground. Nelson and Mouse were having the time of their lives. Oh, and that Leon is too, very, very angry, I guess. And here it goes. Liam panicked and tried to unstick his hands. He jumped up and down and shook his head to make the jumper fall over to the ground. Nelson and Mouse were having the time of their lives. Eek, moaned Liam, sitting to scrub the glue from his fingers. Then he suddenly looked at Nelson and Mouse, yelled, "Here comes the booger!" Chapter 3. Holly makes a guess. As Liam chased the boys, his outstretched booger hands, he almost ran right into Holly. Hi, Holly says, wiping glue onto his shirt. Want to play a new game? Sure, said Holly. It's called Guess What It Is, said Liam. You have to guess what's something without seeing it. Okay, sounds fun. Sounds fun? Oh my gosh. Holly thinks it's a very funny game, but it's not. Sometimes fun. Yeah, and Mouse have something cupped in his hand. Liam covered Holly's eyes with a jumper, and the mouse stroked what he was holding into Holly's hands. Oh, it feels cold, she said. Guess what it is? Said Nelson. Is it some sort of toy? Asked Holly. Nope, said Mouse, wide-eyed. The thing is, Holly said, "Hey, it moved!" She gasped. Gas, quickly gas, cried Lee. I don't know, Holly said. Maybe but then objects shifted again before leaping out over her hands completely. Holly pulled the jumper from her head. Oh, Frog, you made me hold one of the science lab books, she screamed. You should have seen your face, said Nelson, very pleased with his work. Chapter 4. Bruno's finest moment. Suddenly Bruno reappeared. Can I still play? Is it my turn? Is it? Sure, said Nelson, not believing his luck. Mouse placed the jumper on Bruno's hat. And will Bruno correct the answer? I wonder. Okay, let's see. Now, all you have to do, Bruno explained boldly, is guess what you're feeling with your hands without looking at it. You bet, said Bruno excitedly. This sounds like a great game. I like it. Bruno stood still in the playground. What will what will that Nelson do to Bruno? Okay, Bruno still in the playground. The others moved away a few steps to whisper about what they have give to Bruno. Maybe an old peanut butter and cream cheese sandwich, perhaps some used chewing gum from Nelson's pocket. Without anyone noticing, Bruno wandered away with the jumper still over his head and his arms in front of him like a zombie. Suddenly, something blocked his path. Bruno touched it with his feet first and then with his hands. It was down low, near one of the new playground benches. Nelson, Leon, and Holly looked up to see what Bruno had found. They froze in horror. Bruno began to run his hands all over the thing. It's breathing, he observed, and kind of big around the middle, like a barrel. It feels like a dog, but pets aren't allowed at school. Holly gasped. Nelson spoke very slowly and clearly. Bruno, please take off the jumper. Do it now, Bruno. Hey, what's this? But I haven't guessed what it is yet, replied Bruno. Just give me a second. But I squeezed the there's only a bit of hair on top and there's a thick flush nose. It might be a pug dog, but the body and the head are too big for a pug dog. Let me just check its tail. Don't think so, announced the thing that Bruno was feeling. Take that jumper off your head at once, Bruno. Bruno took off the jumper to find Mr. Zapple, Polka Street's principal, who had bent down to check the new playground benches. Is there anything you'd like to say, Bruno? Said Mr. Zapple, standing up. I really like dogs, stammered Bruno, especially pug dogs. Pug dogs are my favorite dog. Do you have a favorite dog, Mr. Zapple? Mr. Zapple didn't answer Bruno's question, but he did give Nelson, Leon, Holly, and Bruno something to do for the rest of lunch. Guess what it is? It's a very weird game, but my personal favorite, said Mr. Zapple. It's called Pick Up Papers. Okay, bye!